hey, I'm sorry. I was reading. I was in deep contemplating, wondering whether it was okay to be white. So welcome to This Week in White Supremacy.
The results may astound you.
My name is Jasiri X. I am co-founder and CEO of 100 Media. And to my immediate rights,
it's your girl, Miracle Jones.
Yes.
Big blessings with the big blessings. Just
Sounding
here.
crisp. Yes. Sounding clear.
Yes, come on.
Was that good? Was
Mike
that
turned
good?
up.
Did we do it right?
Come on.
Did we get it right?
Yes.
Let's go.
Here, getting it, making it work.
Yes.
Revolutionary but gorgeous.
Come on.
All right. And my brother?
It's twins.
Yeah, man.
My brother, yes.
It's your boy.
Yes.
Trouble Never Like Supremacy. Next Level Shaman. You know what I'm saying? Next Level shit. You already know the vibes.
You already know the vibes. Never lose sight. And yeah, y'all are definitely twinning. Y'all are the black. It's just the black leather jacket day.
Hey.
You text black and black leather. Okay, you're right. Y'all just need the gloves.
Freedom.
Come on, yeah. It's me, the conscious Casanova.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's go.
fashionable Farouk,
Okay.
Come on.
the hip hop heathen,
Oh,
revolutionary but gorgeous part 2,
Aye.
supreme Asiatic intelligently divine,
You know what I'm saying?
man, Saeed, neighborhood supervillain.
What's up, man?
How you feeling, man? Are you okay today?
Yeah. I'm rolling. You know what I'm saying? It's been an interesting week so far.
And it's an interesting week and we're only a few days in.
And this is for us. I know when you see this,
When you see this,
Black History Month will be over, but for us,
teardrop.
the last day.
And we're going to
28th.
celebrate with it. That's why Miracle and I out here, innit?
Oh, is that what it was?
Come on, man. We had to listen.
Last day of Black History Month, y'all had to be ultra black.
Oh, listen.
I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all.
And I'm blackity black, and I'm
But
black, y'all.
hey. We don't want to make the white people uncomfortable. See, you're the reason why
Excuse me?
Dilbert is going on his little tirade.
Oh,
you know what I'm
man,
saying?
because we're
Not blaming it on black women.
Right.
You're the very black.
Thank
No,
you, Treble.
both of them.
Thank you, Treble.
Damn. But it's okay to be white.
Is
Yeah,
it?
right?
Is it?
It's
I mean, they
very
can't
okay.
change it, can they? I mean,
It's not okay to be a white supremacist.
right, yeah.
But so I
Which
think
is the
this
issue?
So I think this is the context that was lacking in this poll. So Rasmussen, is it? Did I say that right? Rasmussen did a poll, and the poll asked. It said, it was a statement. It's okay to be white, but this "it's okay to be white." I guess this was a movement that came like after Black Lives Matter, and this came out of like white people feeling like, this discussion of actual white history,
right.
Somehow makes them uncomfortable or makes them feel less than when you talk about like how white people achieved and took power.
Well, if that bothers you, imagine what's waiting for you on the other end.
Historically, right?
You know what I mean?
So that was
Imagine
missing.
how we feel.
Right, but so Rasmus did the statement, "It's okay to be white," right? And so what happened in this poll? It said that Black Americans, 53% of Black Americans agreed
That it's okay to be white.
it's okay to be white. 26 disagreed, and 21 were not sure.
So can I ask you a question? I guess this is for everybody because I don't necessarily think I get it. So are they just asking like, is it okay to be white? Like it's fine? Because I have white friends.
Miracle. Oh,
Okay.
you're the disagree.
No, so the context that is missing is that it's okay to be white.
Miracle, it's not okay to be light skinned in Miracle's world. Okay, so white people can't stand a chance.
Fake news. Fake news.
From the proud colorist herself.
I myself have changed. No, so the background is a white supremacist organization sent out mailers that said it's okay to be white, and that is their slogan.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when Rasmussen did this poll, they did not quantify what it's okay to be white meant.
Yes.
So if it's like it's okay to be Caucasian in general, okay, you're Caucasian, that's
you're white.
okay.
I mean,
What are
you
you gonna
can't
do?
change
But
it.
it's okay to
Can
be
you?
white.
I mean, Rachel Dolezal tried.
There are some other ones.
There
We
are
have,
some other-
we have
yeah,
another one that
there-
we'll get
we
to a
do
little bit
have
later
another
on.
one, yes.
right? And so when you're asking black people, it's okay to be white, and you're doing a poll, and you can't giving people in the context.
Right, you don't get
so
any of our context.
some people are like, no, it's not okay to be white because that's a white supremacist dog whistle.
Absolutely.
And then some people are like, nah, because we don't know what you're asking me.
Yeah. What do you mean?
With this question. And so that is why there is some confusion with this poll. The poll itself was very problematic.
100%.
And whoever did it did not do it in an ethically correct way.
I agree. And the poll was supposedly around like wokeness and this whole,
I'm so over this
bro,
word.
if I never hear it again,
because y'all didn't gatekeep, and that is why you have to be a bully, because wokeness
you know what?
came
I'm not
from.
going to argue that you're 100% correct.
100% correct.
Wokeness came from black people saying, "Stay woke."
Yeah, stay woke. Stay up.
It was a communal call, a conversation, and then some of y'all needing the gaze and that validation allowed people in, and now we have a whole fascist
now
government.
we have a poll asking
running on anti-woke.
Is it okay to be white? But I think you make a great point, because it didn't quantify that. And like you said, when you say to somebody it's okay to be white, it's like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, like white is pejorative.
Yeah, do you mean like is it okay to like you said, you were born in a particular way? I can't change. I didn't determine, but is it okay to have white supremacist ideology? No. Like, is it okay to put your, is like your beauty standard being the standard okay? No, that's not okay.
Correct.
So it's like they didn't explain what that meant. So like you said, somebody could, depending on how they look at that statement, see it in a particular way. And so like you said, somebody could be like, I'm not sure, and it's not sure that it's okay to be white, but I'm not sure like what point you're even trying to make.
Yeah, and quizzically enough, Republicans are always telling people to wake up, yet they hate wokeness, which I don't get. Well, and that's like so always weird. The go-to. It's like, wake up, snowflake. And I'm like, well, okay. But,
weird.
I think just like, the co-opting of anything black and automatically having it become white supremacist
yes,
is like, what they result to. Or what they relegate themselves to, rather.
Right. And speaking of snowflake, it's like snowflake is supposed to be somebody who's so easily, like, the smallest thing trigger them. And it seems like the small, like
we had a mild winter this year.
These white men, because this poll sent the creative Dilbert into he just threw it all away. You know when they say willing to risk it all? He just said, you know what? Forget my whole career. Did he risk it all
because it's
not really? No,
you know what I mean. Like he's
a white man. He's cool.
He's fine.
100% fine.
He will be okay.
Yes, and
it's not like he did this at the beginning of his career. Dilbert's been in publication for what, 40 years?
Dilbert's been a terrible cartoon for a very long time. A poorly.
He looks like his creation.
I'm gonna just from now on, from here on, I'm gonna just call him Dilbert. I don't care what his real name is.
Last night I called him Evil Anderson Cooper.
So did you want to play with Dilbert? Dilbert went full on race.
He didn't just go full on race. Like, I was expecting him to just start shouting obscenities in German and like put on a Klan hood at the same time.
You expect him to go like Kramer on like at that comedy club? Look, get the nigger.
That's one of the best internet moments ever. Like watching
not
him.
For Kramer, but
for me, it was great. It was amazing.
We're going to hear from Dilbert, and Dilbert definitely was highly upset at this poll.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning, yes.
All right, so here is Scott Adams, writer, creator of Dilbert, going on an immaculately worded racist tirade. And it's just so powerful.
He's Dilbert from now on, though. We're no longer
it's so powerful. He's this
Adams.
strong in his convictions that he decided to share them with us on his YouTube channel.
And this is when, like, you've had all this hate waiting.
Absolutely.
And you're just waiting for, like, the right moment.
The thing is scary is he probably had this conversation already.
100%, yeah.
With his friends. And they're like, yeah, we agree with you.
Yeah.
But here it is.
Shared it with the world, unfortunately.
Nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll.
That's not true.
To me.
Not what the poll said, but.
According to this poll.
There's white people in this room right now, Scott.
That's a hate group, and I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Wow.
And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away.
Is it ironic there's a police siren?
I was thinking that.
This can't be fixed.
What can't be fixed, Scott?
This can't be fixed.
The systemic racism?
So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately,
nigga was on Zillow looking up black population.
You filtered no niggas.
So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that
he's quoting Don Lemon as if that means something.
Mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference.
But does Don Lemon think it's okay to do
your
wrong?
own quality of living,
or is he a
based
hater?
on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens.
Wow.
It doesn't make sense.
He's 1,000% on the neighborhood watch.
Rational.
All those Dilbert scholarships.
I'm going to back off from being helpful to black America.
Oh, no. We've lost Dilbert.
We need your life preserver.
And I've been, the only outcome is I get.
Don't leave us, white savior.
That's the only outcome.
How will we survive
without Dilbert?
Without Dilbert's help.
And evil Anderson Cooper.
It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying.
Oh.
And
what was that? What was that?
That's the end of the video.
Oh,
yeah. That's the end of
I thought he used the N-word.
No, I wish. And these niggas, I hate them.
Yeah, so first thing I guess I thought of, of course, it's million
Niggas
thoughts.
give me heebie-jeebies.
That's exactly what he said.
Bastards.
Okay.
I wonder if there is any historical reasons that black people might have some issues.
Redlining.
Slavery?
Redlining.
I wonder, like, where did this evil black hate come from? Like,
Why are black neighborhoods so different? We don't know.
Yes, could it be anything to do with a system set up by white people? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we were here creating these systems this whole time.
And it's like, and the wild part is like, Dilbert has been a comic strip for like 40 years, and he's had like a black person in there like
once,
like last year.
Yeah.
Yo,
like the first black character he's ever written.
I saw a meme that I think Dilbert would like a lot. It was of Shadow from Sonic, and it's literally just him going, "Disgusting black creatures, get out of my sight."
So, is there, well, one, okay, Dilbert lied about, okay, so one.
Dilbert has been in publications since 1989.
Wow. So the poll didn't say 50% or almost 50% of black people did not think it was okay to be white.
Correct.
It was 28% of black people. You know what I'm saying? 21% said,
Unsure.
I'm sorry, it was 23. 21% said, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's a lie.
21.
But it's hilarious to me because he says this poll reinforces the idea that black people are a hate group.
Yes.
But then he also, in the same stream of consciousness, says that he has moved to a segregated neighborhood.
Yes.
So it was like, sir, you were already
yes.
practicing white supremacy.
100%.
And this poll has nothing to do with
Well,
that.
he said his neighborhood had a low black population.
Yes.
Not
yes.
no black.
Low black.
that
Intentional.
right.
He intentionally
He
went.
He selected a place on Zillow.
Yes.
And
that had no niggas.
This has been
And no Brillo headed niggas.
my argument with white supremacy, and the reason why we're seeing white supremacy really rear its ugly head, is that black people have begun to take advantage of upward mobility.
100%.
And a lot of times, white people, some white people, have intentionally gone to spaces and places where they don't think black people will be.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they're
Like
watching
space?
the Country Music Awards.
Yes.
And they see black people.
Yes.
All of a sudden, they're at their fancy hoedowns and they see black people.
Yes.
All of a sudden, they're at their European vacays.
Yes.
And they see black people.
Yes.
And now they're having to come to terms with this idea
Yes.
that they act actually are racist.
Like, right, yeah.
It's not just that like they didn't know, but they're now having their white protected spaces really invaded by black people, and it's working class black people or wealthy black people. And we saw during COVID-19, it was black and brown people who had to work and who had to travel. So now you have black people who have travel points, who are medallions because they were forced to work, and now people are upset when they go in their lines and it's just not exclusive enough for them anymore. And it's hilarious that Dilbert's like, they just don't like this. It's like, nah.
How about this? How about we find what neighborhood he lives and we just all move there? We just all move around Dilbert and like,
there gotta be some Airbnbs by his place that we can patronize.
Watch his head explode as like the black population increases.
That's
watch
violence.
black people come to his place and just like sit outside his house.
But it's also wild. It's also wild, like this ideology of like, okay, so because in his words, half the black people think this, all of us are judged, right? Like it wasn't like, yo, I'll continue to help those black people that. What about the more than 50% of black people that in this poll said, right? The 53 that agreed. They're thrown out of the window with the other rest of the black people. So it's like, he was like, that's a hate group.
Throw the baby out with the bathwater.
100%. So I think that's also like where you know that this is internalized white supremacy that has come out to the forefront, right? You don't like black people, period. Because if half of black people did something, why would you then blame the other half? Like, why wouldn't you say, you know what, to those black people that agree that it's okay to be white, I'll continue to work with them.
Maybe it's because he believes it's all black people.
So see, this is where I realize how harmful racism and white supremacy culture are to the people who practice it.
100%.
Because they're unable to see nuance. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Clearly, this man doesn't understand statistics thanks to Farouk's observation yesterday, where it's like, how many people are in this focus group of people?
100%.
They do not represent the entirety of the black people in America. So that's one nuance that he's missing.
100%.
Two, it's like, just like you said, there's 53% of black people who said it is okay to be white.
Yes.
What about them?
What about us?
You know what I'm saying?
What about us, Dilbert? Can't we get some of them Dilbert scholarships?
So
can we get some Dilbert bucks?
Is there really a Dilbert scholarship?
Of course not. You think this like, when have you ever heard of Dilbert helping black people do anything?
I mean, by his own volition, he spent his whole life helping black people. That's what he said.
Buying basketballs for the neighborhood.
And then,
what are you doing, Dilbert?
My last point on Dilbert is like where his narrow perspective harms him is that specifically when he said how there's a difference between the black neighborhoods and the white affluent neighborhoods that he's used to patronizing.
Absolutely.
He thinks that we are the reason why the neighborhood is
absolutely
like that.
Yes.
Which then it's like, one thing that a lot of white supremacists don't realize is that we all have the same oppressor.
100%.
And for white supremacists, they look just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. You feel me? So it's like that's stopping him from seeing the fact that like there are ways in which he has been negatively impacted by white supremacy culture and racism as a systemic practice.
I mean, think about all the unseasoned food he's going to have to eat now. He refuses to be around black people.
Oh shit!
That's what he gets.
I mean, but I mean, it is just like you said. I mean, clearly, and it's like he's Dilbert, right? Mm-hmm. He has some whack comic strip, but that's popular, right? Even though hundreds of newspapers have canceled his comic strip, he's probably well off, right? He's probably financially good.
He's had almost 40 years of this. Like, you know,
he doesn't have to and he's a white man. Right. He's a white man. He don't have to have nuance, trouble. Like we oftentimes have to be able to see through these things so we can navigate for our own survival. Whether that survival be like our actual survival, whether that's like our financial viability, whether it's like how we're helping our families and our children, right? So we have to like try to navigate that, correct? But like he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to have nuance. He doesn't have to think about, like you said, he doesn't have to read and learn and understand about systemic racism and like Miracle mentioned redlining and how these things have actually affected, like, why black people can't move, like that, we heard recently, and it's something I didn't know, that Muhammad Ali tried to move to Mount Lebanon, a suburb of Pittsburgh, and literally was not allowed.
While he was still world champion.
Yeah, while he was Muhammad Ali world champion, they were like, no, we don't allow black people to live here. Doesn't matter how much. They sold it to somebody for less money that was white, right? So like this history of certain places not accepting black people to even live there, right? This history of, black people communities traditionally being disinvested in, right? Over police, all of these things that come with in our communities. It's like, but he doesn't have to know nuance. He's so far removed, and he really he was looking for something. He was looking for an excuse to come out and say, I don't like black people. He read this poll. He put his little light and his little laptop up to whatever device he had, and he jumped out the motherfucking window. And guess what? Like, who's going to miss this dude? Like, oh, what? We don't get any more Dilbert cartoons? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
People are going to be jumping out of their windows on Sunday morning.
That's the type of fallacy, right? When you see statistics that basically go along with an already predetermined belief that you have.
Yes.
Like, yep, exactly my point.
Well, no, was the thing is like he's already had this conversation with a lot of his contemporaries. That's evident.
Yeah.
Just like how casual he was about putting this out there.
Yeah.
So this is something that's probably not even rehearsed for him. It's just like how he feels. This is what all of his groups of friends, all his peers, all his employees, if he has any, all share the same sentiment.
Yeah.
And that's why he was just so comfortable with it, because this is what he believes. And I mean, and that's fine. Right? That's fine. That's what you believe. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's wrong. But, far be it from me to try to change your mind.
I also think it's fascinating, like, the idea that he says, like, there's no fixing this. Because,
it's not like we created the problem.
But it's like, we're always told that, like, we have to, again, as marginalized people, as black people, as brown people, it's like that we have to, like, fix ourselves, right? We have to do this work to integrate into this system. We have to be quieter. We have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, dim your light. Don't be as loud. Don't be as, y'all got on all black is scary today because you're wearing all black. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of the mentality, but like, he doesn't, his first thought isn't, hey, how can I maybe have a conversation to show like maybe like people maybe misunderstand white people and me as a representative. Maybe I can facilitate something. No, he's like, yo, nah, man, just get the hell away from me, black people.
Another lost nigga.
What is no? No.
If I wonder if people get the concepts that I don't know. As far as that concept, that's a brilliant breakdown.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's brilliant.
Lux was in his bag.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, so again, like I just, we're all a hate group now. The fact that like nobody said nothing in this poll said anything about harming white people. Nothing. Didn't say anything about like he
later goes on to say, I'm tired of signing onto the internet every day and seeing black people beat the shit out of white people.
Wait, what?
That's what I want to know. Where, like, he says it at the end of the video.
I I have a password to that site.
What are you talking about?
I might like to watch that.
No.
It's like my algorithm is wild, as Siri just pointed out. I never see videos, and I'm subscribed to like 3 fight pages.
Yeah. Is he talking about when we knock out the Nazis? Like when you see someone yelling like a slur at a black person, and then the person gets knocked out. Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah,
because there's no.
He was like
video of just like black people assaulting.
No, and he said, he's like, I know I'm speaking
racist in peace.
he says in the video, I know I'm speaking anecdotally and this doesn't have context. So I'm like, well then don't say it.
That is wild. I mean, and it's like this thing of like, again, the right uses this term snowflake. And it's like, but you're always the one like manufacturing. Yeah, it's like you're manufacturing some 100%. Yeah. Like because you're like, there's no. It's like, oh, now a white man can't even walk down the street without having to duck black people running up and trying to sucker punch it. That's not happening. Like we're actually being killed by the police. Like there's multiple videos, when we say, hey, this is an issue of policing. Oh no, get out of here, nigger. We don't want to fix that. And it's like you watch watched a couple fight pages and now you're like, you don't want to be around anybody black. It's like you manufacture, it's a war on Christians. It's a war on Christmas. It's a war on whiteness.
I mean, let Elon Musk tell it.
man.
That's exactly what it is.
But one, whiteness does not even exist. So for them to go out here and rage, it's kind of funny to me because there's no Rosewood, there's no Black Wall Street, there's no Selma, there's nothing happening en masse to people to cause them to have these type of issues.
100%.
Number one. Number two, when I say whiteness does not exist, because some people are like, what are you talking about?
That sounds like you're saying it's not okay, Miracle.
Are you trying to erase white
talk
people?
about blackness
that Browning of America?
because of the interception of our black identities that came due to slavery. So most white people are Polish or German or, can
Italian,
trace their lineage.
Portuguese.
True.
Whiteness is a American construct, was basically created as the identity to justify taking rights away from black and brown people, to not
100%.
give black people access to housing, access to care, to do the black codes and so on and so forth. So it is this made up construct. When we're talking about Mr. Dilbert and his ignorance, I wrestle with this idea, do I want to know who's racist, or do I just want to go about my day without encountering racism?
I mean, that's
what I mean?
great.
It's
like ignorance is bliss.
I want to open up my newspaper and laugh at the Dilbert cartoon and be like, oh, this was funny today? Or do I want to be like, oh, this white supremacist fascist wrote this this comic strip after saying we need to divorce from all black people? It's very weird.
A national divorce.
It's very it's like.
So I think maybe you want to know because, let's say you ran into Dilbert getting Starbucks and he ran away from you. Hey, you be like, hey, ain't you Dilbert? And he's like 40 flat to the car. You're like, whoa, what's going on? You want to know, oh, Dilbert doesn't like being around black people. Wouldn't you want to know that? I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm glad his comic strip gets dropped. I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying? I hope he retires from whatever he's writing. I want to know. And then it's the same. But again, it's to me even, I don't even know if it's more troubling because I think with Elon Musk, it's is this dude trying to troll? You just don't.
It's almost like he really was brought up in segregation and almost apartheid. Almost thought apartheid was correct.
I mean, because it's here is, one of the wealthiest white men, although he lost the most money in history with his purchase of Twitter, but one of the wealthiest white men in the world saying the media is racist.
Elon Musk said, and I quote, for a very, with asterisks, long time, U.S. media was racist against non-white people, and now they're racist against whites and Asians. Something happened with elite.
Same thing happened.
Yeah. Oh, same thing happened with elite colleges and high schools in America. Maybe they can try not being racist.
Yes.
It's like a foreign national just really is over here immersing himself in issues that have nothing to do with it.
So you mean that African American man?
It's almost like it's a disinformation campaign. But it's almost as, and not to be against xenophobic against immigrants, but that was a joke. But I was saying I wasn't being disrespectful because of his immigration status.
That's what she said. But isn't what
I literally was saying I wasn't being xenophobic.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Twins fighting. But isn't technically Miracle, and I want to ask you.
See, this is why I need to go back on my bully ways because when I try to be nice and correct, y'all just come for me. But what I was trying to say,
break it down.
No, this racism crap is ridiculous. Being held accountable for your actions is not racism. Saying, you know what, sometimes you're not the smartest person in the room is not racism. And a lot of times, a lot of these colleges are looking at people's full scores, their extracurriculars, and sometimes it's just not you. And I think that being taught that the only reason a black or brown person is in the room is because of affirmative action really gives a lot of these people cover to be mad at black and brown folks. And at the
And at the end of the day, come on, Miracle, just give it to us. Go ahead.
And at the end of the day, it's so messed up because we could really be in a world where we're all living together, where we all have the things that we need, where we're in peace and harmony and we're chilling out. Yeah. I personally love the fact that we're a multicultural society. I love listening different food. I mean, eating different foods, listening to different music, looking at different media. I love having this melting pot of ideas, and I don't understand why so many people are resistant to it. It's just like, okay, you got a car, you got a car. We can all win together, and so I don't understand this incessant need of these conservatives to try to divide people.
Well, it is because it's. I don't know if it's that. Well, one, I mean, isn't Elon technically media? I mean, isn't Twitter technically like a media? You know, you could argue it's a media company, platform. Social media, it's a media platform. So it's like you're the media. And ironically, what was the first thing that Elon Musk did when he took over Twitter? He let all the white supremacists and anti-Semitic people like get their, Twitters back. Yeah. And what did they do? They said anti-Semitic, crazy stuff. Some of them he had to re-cancel, right? You know, people have said like that white supremacist hate speech has like been skyrocketing ever since Elon Musk took over. So it's fascinating.
So was that a pun about SpaceX? Elon Musk going to space in a rocket, so white supremacy skyrockets.
I did not see it like that, but really, what it is, again, like Miracle said, it's like that. And I think you hit it on the head, Miracle, when it's like all of a sudden now, when you go into your elite institutions and there's black and brown people there, you're uncomfortable, right?
Right.
And it's like now the black and brown people there want to talk about the historic white supremacy and systemic institutional racism that people face, that a lot of these institutions, these elite colleges and high schools have upheld, and a lot of these media establishments have upheld. And now when people say, okay, we want to try to remedy this, right? We want to try to correct this. So we want to have a DEI person, and we don't want to bring something on to make sure.
Too much work, because they're reminiscing on the days when we weren't there.
100%.
So like it was better when you niggas weren't in the room.
100%. Right. So now these white men get mad, like, oh, why do we have to, like, and it's similar around gender, right? Like, why do I have to, I can't just go up and grab this woman, like you used to do I can't just sexually assault this woman like you used to do in the past. And it's like, now that people are being held accountable, now it's racist. Now it's an attack on white men. Now these white men, because they've been privileged for so long, feel like somehow like their rights are being taken away from you, when it's like, no, this is actually and this isn't even equality in a full scale.
What do you mean I can't assault whomever I want? What do you mean I can't intimidate or ethnically intimidate somebody?
Right. And it's right.
It's not a free country anymore.
I can't be racist and write my little cartoon. Like, why? Why can't I be? And so it's pretty ridiculous to see. Or, what I'm saying? And it's, just to continue the assault. Was that the title of this? The assault on white men?
Man.
I don't know. Maybe assault is too strong of a word, right? The war on white men.
The war on white men?
Yes.
Man.
Because apparently...
Don't let Killer Mike hear that.
Apparently... That's going to be the name of his new album.
Because he went on the Breakfast Club and said, I know it's hard to be a white man right now. Nigga, what?
It's not.
What?
Yeah, Killer Mike said that shit on the Breakfast Club.
To Killer Mike's... 99.9% of Killer Mike's fans are white men. I mean, brother trying to sell a record.
It's not hard to be a white man.
Miracle,
no,
wait a second.
I want to say this first.
Okay,
it's
go ahead,
not
Miracle.
hard to be a white man. A lot of these white men who are in trauma, who don't have friends, who are all alone, it's because they subscribe to this idea of patriarchy that was harmful for themselves. If they would divorce themselves from this white supremacist patriarchal identities that they have clung to and actually just go and learn emotional intelligence, it would be easy for them.
But that would mean they would have to be around black people, Miracle. They don't want to do that.
What? Maybe they could just be around each other. I saw a thing where it was a bunch of white men in Europe and they were fighting for a ball and they were just like having themselves a jolly good time. And they could do things. They could go camping. Yeah. They could make friends, but because they're so angry, they don't even want to be around each other. And so maybe instead of saying, oh my God, it's so hard to be a white man, we should just tell white men to be better.
Yeah. But telling them to be better is a war, Miracle. It's an assault.
It is not an assault. It's a call to action.
Stop being so woke, Miracle.
It is a call to action because
Miracle. Michael Newman would disagree with you.
Oh my God.
Okay.
What did Michael say?
Michael Newman, he tried, Miracle.
What did he try to do?
He tried to get along with you Negroes, Miracle.
And then what happened?
So much so that he actually went to an historical black university.
And what happened at this illustrious, this historical black institution?
A white student at Howard University Law School is suing the institution for racial discrimination, alleging the school created a hostile education environment.
He is seeking $2 million in monetary damages for pain, suffering, emotional anguish, and damage to his reputation.
How dare you tell me I have to season this chicken? I will not.
That is not even what happened.
What happened? I don't know.
He literally was out here acting a fool on group chats.
Oh, really?
And trying to debate me, bro, in the university. And it's kind of funny when we're talking about coddling white men. He acted a fool multiple times. So much so the university had to have a couple town halls
about
to
him.
Address his behavior.
Wow.
He got kicked out of group chats because he was so combative in these group chats because he wanted to talk about things that were just irrelevant and make these horrible accusations and analogies.
It's like, why are you
wait.
Read it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Read it.
I'm missing it.
I cannot believe.
Read what he wrote.
Newman's private Twitter account.
Here we go.
Included a picture of a slave bearing his badly scarred back with the caption.
No.
We don't know what happened right before this.
But we don't know what he did before the picture. What? But we don't know what he did before the picture was taken?
Wow.
That's your comment? Like, wait. Why are you at a black... Hey, yo. Hey, Newman, check this out, man. The fact that you made it out of there without getting punched in your face every day at Howard University. I'm sorry. Could you imagine?
Listen how he explains it. Newman claimed the tweet was mocking commentators who attempt to explain away videos of police brutality by claiming the victim must have committed wrongdoing before the video started. He alleged that students responded with his references to race, gender, and sexual preference, age, and personal appearance.
They call him a Mayo King.
Oh, they call him Mayo King? Oh, my God. So, again, it's like you want to come around, and then, to me, like... This seems purposeful.
What happened before this?
This seems purposeful, right? This seems like you go into a black environment. Like, for instance, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of us, we live in Pittsburgh. This is a predominantly white city, right?
Yeah.
And, so like you went to Pitt Law School. You went into a predominantly white law school, right? So as a black person, I went to, a PWI, University of Maryland, and I went to Pitt as well as my high school. So it's like, again, what we were talking about earlier, Treble, okay, I have to figure out how to navigate this, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm not the majority here. This is a predominantly white place, so I have to navigate. That doesn't mean you can't be yourself. That doesn't mean you can't bring your culture. But you also know that there's you want to graduate, right? So there's some getting along that you have to do. So like you come to a predominantly black institution, Howard University, and you just feel like you're just going to be racist?
Yes.
And not be held accountable, and the black students there not say like, yo, we saw your Twitter page. What is going on with this?
Yes.
It's hilarious because if you read some of the articles, he talks in the court
he was
filings,
expecting these niggas not being able to read.
He talked about because of COVID-19, everything went digital, and you had to be in group chats, you had to engage, and so because of that, your personal social medias became linked to your classroom communications, and for some reason, he didn't think that people would scroll through. I've been, I'm 35, so. When I went to college, you had to have a Facebook account, because it was only for college. That's when Facebook was only for college students.
Yeah, you had to have a college email to have a Facebook account.
And that was how the university engaged with us. But you knew from there that the people were going to be looking at your social media.
Yes.
And so he should have had the forethought to create a new social media account if he knew that he was being sarcastic or broach the conversation
Yeah.
at the very beginning. But nah. Can you imagine being like, who's all in my project group today?
But you know,
A slave picture.
I think
you hold on. I think
Go
it
ahead,
was the
break it
same
down.
picture that white man pulled out.
It was the same picture.
On the red carpet.
Yes,
This
yes.
picture keeps taking white men out.
Oh my God.
Like,
and this is the thing.
Justice. That's what it is.
And this is the thing. I think like
Real
what the-
reparations.
But the wild part is, and this is wild. Like white men will rally to his defense, and white men will use this as an excuse to like, this is racism against white people. And those same white men do not want you to even read about the racism Roberto Clemente faced.
Right.
Or the racism like black people that had to integrate these historically segregated spaces that received death threats and, you know, some were lynched, some were killed. We can't read about that. Oh, that was in the past. Oh, don't worry about that. Oh, you know, America's better now. But yet we'll back up what this dude did. Like I said, going into a thing, being intentionally racist to black people's faces, and then wonder why people wanted to call him like the Mayo King. And of course, again, that's jokes, right? But like, I mean, come on, ask any black person that showed up in predominantly white spaces how many times we're called out of our name. People want to touch our hair. People want to refer to us negatively. You know what I'm saying? We was called nigga. We was called all types of racial slurs. But like, we're to get over it. Right? We're just get over it, suck it up, be better. You should be happy to be in America, not Africa. But the minute like a paper cut comes on one of these white men, now I need $10 million.
the
Yes.
funniest thing is he wrote a 4-part letter to justify his
He's
use
writing
of the
us a
tweet.
4-part.
And they said, why is he writing a manifesto? Number one. It just got worse and worse.
Thoughts from a Mayo King. That's his autobiography. Thoughts from a Mayo King, part 1.
Cries from the White Panther.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, the fact that he's really about to sue Howard in DC, it's about to be a rude awakening for him. And I would just say for people, HBCUs are one of the most diverse college campus experiences anyone will have. A lot of people think HBCUs are just for black people, but they have international faculty. They have people from all walks of life on their college campuses, and you know every year people go viral because it's not just black people at HBCUs, and so this is quite hilarious to me that this man did this and acted this way at Howard. This is like one of the it's like going to Yale or Harvard and just acting a fool, and I was like, bruh, why?
I mean, because he had to. You know, like, and then it's like you inject race into these conversations. They said in one conversation, he was like, oh, you know, black people think the government solves all their problems. I don't think that. Like, you inject race into all of these conversations, into all these tweets, and then are like, people are mad at me? Oh my God, I have anxiety and stress. I have to, come on, man, like, stop it. So did we want to?
I think this is an important lesson on the social ramifications of not being aware of your freedom of speech and how you utilize it.
Yeah.
Because people think freedom of speech means I can just go into these spaces, be as combative as I want, and no one can argue against me.
Right.
But it's like, if you're going to come with a combative attitude, you have to be able to face the ramifications of that, because you came in on that bullshit. You have to be able to take that bullshit as well.
You might be on one of them videos that Dilbert be watching. You might be. You might fall victim. So, I mean, did we want to get into, I mean, we had, I guess, from Rachel to Raquel. Did we want to get into Raquel, the latest white woman to pretend?
This is, knows her.
Who's that? Oh, does he know her?
So
or
his
does he?
sister works at that organization. Yeah.
So let's set it up. So
let's blur those names out just in case.
Yeah. We don't want nobody to get fired. Let's edit that out. So Raquel, and I don't know. Yeah, Raquel.
Is that even her real name?
That's a great question. It is now. I mean,
what if her name was just like Rachel?
It said she was a bronze-hued, Jersey-born spokesperson for Muslim and LGBTQ causes in fashionable hijabs.
Like, White women want the gold in Struggle Olympics so bad.
And until this week, she was Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer for the American Friends Service Committee, a Quaker-founded service organization. But that came to an abrupt end when a group, they put a open letter out to the organization saying that she was living a lie. And then a article came out where somebody talked to her mom. And her mom was like, oh, she's white as snow. I think that was a quote from her mom.
It's Rachel. It's not Raquel.
It's Rachel.
Yo! The meticulously footnoted letter
shit.
accused her of culture vulturalism.
Wow.
Alleging that Saraswati, formerly known as Rachel or Raquel Seidel,
He's gonna call her Rachel.
misrepresented herself as having Arab, Latinx, and South Asian heritage.
It's always, they can never just pick one.
Yep. Now
They
they
wanted
can't.
all of it.
Because like then you might be able to get away. Like, you know, if some Latino people come in the room, you can be Middle Eastern. Like, because you know there's certain cues where people are like, oh, yo, yeah, you from our culture.
Yeah.
Wait a second, you're not really. Oh, I'm South Asian today.
All she had to do was say she was a white girl from Jersey named Rachel who took her shahada, and now
all
she
she had to do.
is.
And that's it. And no one
a
would
Muslim,
have a
and
problem
people
at
would have
all.
people would have loved her. Let's be
There's a
very
white girl on TikTok that did that. This blonde white girl. She's like, hey, listen, I took Shahada.
Yeah.
I'm a blonde white girl.
Yeah.
I'm using my privilege to help fight Islamophobia.
Yeah.
Nope. No
and
one
people love her.
outlet.
And
People love her.
Let's
People
be
love
very
her.
honest. People of the global majority, we
Yeah.
love when white people
Yeah.
take on our causes and come in our spaces. We even give more opportunities.
100%. Yeah.
Let's be honest. If Rachel Dolezal just said, I'm a white girl named Rachel and I care about black people,
Yeah.
they would have given her the NAACP presidency.
all in the barbecue.
already.
All in the barbecue.
There is
yes.
But
literally
instead,
no reason.
She wanted the extra credit nobody asked for.
There is no reason to do this.
There's no reason to do that.
Like it just baffles my mind, the thought process, when literally all she had to do was convert, marry her someone with a different last name, and she would have had the same identity and been able to move in the same spaces, and been able to do the same exact work, not only as an ally but as an impacted person.
Yeah.
Maybe
What
she's
the
such
hell?
a strong feminist. She didn't want a man telling her what to do with her name. She was like, I'm gonna change it myself. God damn it!
Don't blame feminism on this, okay, Andrew Tate?
Did you hear
Did you
not.
fought a ghost? Did you hear he fought a ghost in his
He fought
cell?
a ghost in himself. Yeah.
It
Says her mother said, quote, I'm as white as the driven snow, and so is she. It said, I'm
has racist
German
overtones.
and British, and her father was Italian. This is her mom. She's chosen to live a lie, and I find that very, very sad.
You know, that's all I always ask people. Do your grandparents know you're black? Like, because
Is that what you
it's
said? That's what you asked Farouk when he first met him?
Oh, fuck.
She ain't gonna light skin people.
That was great. That was fucking great.
Farouk, do your thing.
That was great. Wow.
that was not me. I didn't do it. That was not me.
is must-see television right there.
That was
Did you
not
do
me.
that, Miracle?
I did not ask him that question.
You told him to take a ancestry.com.
Oh, shit.
No, because they steal your DNA and your evidence
They
and
do.
work with the
They
police.
do.
So
They
do
do.
not do this test.
And they send you
But-
like mad emails.
Wow.
But no, Firk's gonna fight you, and it's not gonna be my
No,
fault.
he's not.
that shit was hilarious.
You know that you hurt him. You know.
No,
Look. Don't even.
That was
You
such an
told me what
impressive
you do.
response.
So I wanted to know if you asked that to your coworker who you've constantly bullied based on.
Who started with me? Let's be
You know what?
very
It's-
clear.
It's okay to be light skinned.
It is.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
Is it,
Wow.
is it okay to be light skinned?
It's okay to be light-skinned.
We
It's
will
okay.
survey 100 black people in
That would be a
Pennsylvania.
fun Twitter poll.
Is it okay to be light skinned?
Not according to Ados.
But no,
Lord have mercy.
it's just fascinating to me.
Fascinating, yeah.
That, like, and how do you go about picking a name? Like,
Well,
how
obviously
do you,
it's Rachel. Like if your name's Rachel, like a Rachel now is a white woman, posing as some other race. It's a
my
Rachel.
sister's name is Rachel, so we can't do that.
But she's black.
Oh,
Correct.
that's wow. We got 2 Rachel. I just thought about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wow.
So like a Karen is there's black people, women named Karen, but a Karen is a white woman. Now a Rachel,
we know a black Karen.
yeah,
We're not
yeah,
like a
yeah,
Karen,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we
yeah,
know
100%.
someone who's
a black
called
woman
Karen.
named Karen. Yes, 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 yes.
I must sit with this one. Does not feel
A
right in my
Rachel is
spirit.
a white woman that wants to be not white. That's a
Yeah.
Rachel.
I have an aunt named Karen.
Yeah.
But like I understand the Karen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
We have Karen in the
Context.
room.
But it's not. I don't feel. You say you have black friends. Is that where you're? Is that what you're saying? My black friend said it was okay. I can say it. Like no, I just. But anyways, I think it's fascinating that people just like reinvent themselves. It's one thing to reinvent yourselves as
Yes.
like a career that you didn't have, but
Yeah.
a whole religion and an identity. And
Yeah.
I guarantee. She was one of those people who was like super into you can't eat that, you can't dress like that.
Yeah.
You have to follow this rule. And it's
100%.
like, girl, you're a
Because
poser.
that's why you do it. It's like you do it so you can be like in this position where you can like critique other white people because it's like I'm a person of color. And then this is the thing when you talk about reinventing herself. Before she went to like be a diversity person, she was actually a Muslim woman that appeared on far right spaces like Fox News and Glenn Beck criticizing other Muslims. So first, when she got her a job, she used it as a way to like critique other Muslim people on Fox News. And this was the initial issue that people had with her being in this position. Then she, I guess, came over to the right side and, yeah.
I have an acronym for Rachel.
Ooh, okay.
I said no.
Okay. Break it down for us.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
Just came up with this.
I got you.
Racially, ambiguously claiming hurt ethnic lives.
Hey, yo. Hey, we gotta comprehend all this shit. Everything you heard in this episode
Yes.
is property of One Hood Media. Don't you
Racially,
dare.
ambiguously claiming hurt ethnic lives. Rachel. Yo, I'm just like,
Give
you get it on camera.
Give yourself some love. Give yourself some love. Yes, indeed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, give yourself an air horn. Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
My sister spells her name AEL, so it's
See,
fine.
exactly.
She's good.
Exactly.
We love Rachel.
Yes. Ooh.
Your sister's Rachel.
Yes.
Because she's black, she's got to have
So,
a little L.
I was to the AEL. Hey,
This Rachel locked her Twitter account, so she hasn't responded as of yet to her being let go by American friends to this open letter. So we don't know if an apology's come in.
the name of this episode has to be
just-
Rachel and Dilbert.
Rachel, George,
The one about Rachel and Dilbert, like a Friends episode.
Rachel, George Santos. I just don't
Yeah.
understand. I just don't understand these people
Yes.
and these fake identities. It makes absolutely
Come on in, man.
no sense whatsoever.
Well, I mean,
at all.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
miracle. It's
enraged.
Like, yeah, and it's like
Angry.
I mean, but also it's like, let me ask: is it worse? Like, is it worse to just be racist like a Dilbert? Just like I don't like black people, I don't want to be around, or is it worse to like pretend to be a person
pretend.
of color?
It's far more insidious because you're like you hate that person so much that you're trying to reclaim the narrative from them.
But it's also like a mental thing because what I think about is all of her friends, all of her coworkers, people who trusted her and believed in her story. Like, what is this doing to them mentally to think about?
100%,
Like, you don't even know if the person you break bread with is actually themselves.
Yeah.
That's got to be like psychological terror for them to go
100%.
through. And so I think it's worse. On top of that, the fact that she weaponized her identity to bring harm to other Muslim people.
Absolutely.
That is,
Yes.
it's just worse. I'm glad Dilbert, once he's come out as being a bigot, it's different when you're taking on somebody's identity, personally profiting over it, taking actual spaces and places from people who are impacted.
I agree.
And now you get to control the narrative from a perspective that isn't even really reaped and steeped in actual experience.
That is the epitome of white privilege.
And it's also a thing of like, you don't think that they're good enough or smart enough or talented enough to speak for themselves. Like, you have to like put on this cloak and speak for us because like an actual black person speaking, in your mind, you're more intelligent, you're more worthy to be in that position
So a
than an
black-faced white
actual
savior.
person of color. Right. So it is like even more of a savior complex. Like you have to put on a costume on some reverse Superman type shit to come save us because actual black people or brown people or Middle Eastern people can't do it
Because
themselves.
They really believe we're children of a lesser God.
Yeah. So
I
think that's it. I
just
mean,
want to say,
please.
this really pisses me off.
Yes.
But thinking about all the black people who suffer with imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
who think that they're not good enough to represent people or think they don't have enough education or contacts to go in certain rooms, and how they're wrestling and doubting themselves. And then you have these people who are just lying, just the audacity to make up a name and lie and steal from people. It just boggles my mind.
100%. Do we need to like get a some type of DNA test?
So I do want to say to the black people
Yes.
who have imposter syndrome,
Yes.
there are mediocre white people out there doing the thing that you're afraid to do.
Writing whack
so just do
cartoons.
that shit.
Yeah.
You're dope.
Writing
You're dope
whack.
as fuck. You know what
Come
I'm
on,
saying?
yeah.
Come on, Trouble.
Yes.
Well.
and also to say like, for, if you did, I mean, I know this has been a crazy episode, but if you did want some good news, we do have good news. On the last day of Black History Month, we made political history again. Our sister Representative Joanna McClinton is the first black woman Speaker of the House, Pennsylvania House. So we took the House back for the Democrats, and this, incredible black woman from Philadelphia, Joanna McClinton, is Speaker of the House. So shout out to her. Shout out to all those that organize, to bring that change to Pennsylvania politics. We out here. We getting it. With that being said, do we have a book? There was a book over there called How to Argue with a Race. I don't know if a black person wrote it, but maybe.
He's Guyanese, Indian, and white.
Oh, who?
The author.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So can we use that?
We can, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, you want to hand that to me, Remington? That book, How to Argue with a Racist?
By Professor Adam Rutherford.
If you ever encounter Dilbert,
Thank you.
or Michael Newman online,
I pre this man on social media talking about he's a geneticist from England, and he was explaining. Yes,
Does he identify as black?
he says he's white passing, and he overstands his privilege.
That's not what I said. I said, is he black?
oh,
I don't know how he identifies.
She said that sounds like a light skinned
But
nigga
no,
to bully
I mean-
me.
No.
She said, "What's his
I can't
grandfather's?
wait. Yeah, I can't
what's his
wait.
grandfather's
I'm
DNA?"
trying to learn. I don't know if Guyanese people.
So Guyana is it's a melting pot. So you have
Correct.
white, black, Indian. I don't
Correct.
know how he identifies. He looks like a white man.
He does.
And he presents as a white man, and he claims that he's a white man. I don't know what.
But it says he's half Guyanese Indian. We hope to God
yeah,
that his middle name isn't Rachel. That's what we have.
a racially.
I was
ambi-
asking.
But anyway, so this book, racist pseudoscience may be on the rise, but science is no ally to racists. In fact, science and history can be powerful allies against bigotry, granting us the clearest view of how people actually are rather than how we judge them to be. By Dr. Adam Rutherford. How to
Absolutely.
Argue with a Racist. It's a 3-part book series.
Yep.
So snatch that up,
Is this part
read it
one?
if you know the words. Yes.
Cool.
I don't know.
It's
Maybe.
interesting.
All right. And,
I like it.
Yeah.
And anything announcements coming up?
There are things.
Next level stanza, March
Next
11th.
level stanza, March 11th. We can drop the ticket link in the chat.
Absolutely. And
If you are someone who lives in Allegheny County, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. right here in the Black Box, you can come through. We're having candidate forums through One in Power, so come through, get informed, and get ready for this municipal May election.
Yes.
Great things are happening within Allegheny County. And just to remind people, protect yourself, love your mental health, and watch Brunch with a Black Man if you haven't already done so.
There we go.
absolutely another show. And with that being said, I mean,
Happy Black History Month.
yes,
See you next
it
year.
was a eventful to say the least.
This one did not hit. We need a redo.
We do need a redo.
We need to redo. But Women's History Month is coming.
Yes.
Right.
Hey.
Until next time, we'll see y'all
Peace.
this weekend. White Supremacy.
Turn up.